Café and Networking Podcast promotes successful business experts. I'm Tom Reaoch, known as the King of Networking, connecting people throughout the world from my podcast studio in Brazil. And today we talk with Susan Jane. She's joining us from Gold Coast, Australia. Susan Jane, an intuitive business mentor, spiritual consultant, author, podcast host, and online course creator. Susan has spent many years encouraging people to connect, develop, and trust their intuition to enable them to make confident decisions in line with their true core values. So, Susan, how does intuition help us?
Well, Tom, intuition to start with, often people refer to it as a gut instinct. So when I'm talking to men, we tend to refer to it as a gut instinct. And for women, we tend to soften it up and call it intuition. But how it helps us, it allows us to make those confident decisions, whether it's in business or whether it's in life. And those decisions need to be made in regards to our true core value, who we are, what we're doing, where we're going, and our purpose in life. So connecting with our intuition or our gut instinct allows us to make those better decisions.
So really you have to anchor your core values.
Well, yes, one of those things you do need to do is be aware of your core values. And sometimes your core values change. And I don't mean huge, big changes, but as we get more developing and we get more understanding of it, I mean, when I think about it as a child, I never thought about global warming or anything like that. So that wouldn't have been one of my core values. But as I've got older and I get an understanding of it, we start to change, and we need to use that change and that understanding, whether it's in a personal life or whether it's in business. We need to get that understanding of it. But one of the things I want to say, Tom, is what is intuition?
Well, I'll start from there.
Yeah. And why I say that is because people have a lot of different understandings about what intuition is or what that gut instinct is. And my simple terms is intuition is the communication between our spiritual side and our physical side. Now that's the simple way, and why some people call it gut instinct is because the information we're receiving from our spiritual side is coming through the chakras. And one of them obviously is our gut chakra. And women often feel it through their heart chakra, and that's why we call it a little bit different, a different name. But you get that feeling. If you want to make a decision about a business goal, about a personal goal, you will start to get that feeling, and your heart will start to churn and make movement, or your gut will start to go, oh, it just doesn't feel right.
Right.
And that's how you can work it out.
Now, and I think obviously we have all gone through that. Many times we don't identify it as being such.
Absolutely, yes. We will go against it, it's pretty natural. There's a lot of people who say to me, but is intuition negative? And I say, well, no, because the information you're receiving may feel a bit negative, but it's actually helping you go on the right path, in line with your true core values or your purpose in life. So yes, you may feel it as in, when you meet somebody, you sort of go, oh, that person doesn't feel right. There's something. Right. That's your intuition. That's that feeling that you're connecting. And often it's the negative feeling that you feel more than the positive one.
And I agree with you, because I've heard that so many times. I've seen that. I felt that. People say, stay away from people who are negative. You actually feel that energy, the same way you feel positive energy.
Absolutely.
And we need to understand that both are happening.
Yes.
Many times the negative energy has a power of attraction. The positive energy doesn't. So I think that's a challenge.
Yes. If you want to rid negative energy in your life, be more positive, because they don't like that. Negative people will often be attracted to positive people, but they get sick of it. They get sick of seeing positive people having a good day. They sort of go, no, the day's crappy. I don't want to have a good day. Oh, no, look, the sun's shining. It's a beautiful day. They don't like that. And you will, as you start to change and develop, you will lose people around you, because that is their way of thinking, and they won't like it when you start to change.
The word may not be lost. It may be opening a door to opportunity.
Yes, yes.
'Cause
And
it's
look,
like
there's a
turning a page in a
really
book. We need to turn the page to see what's on the other side.
absolutely, absolutely. And when we're making these decisions in our life, we're making them in what we know here and now, what we're doing here and now.
Hmm.
And so we can't really, you know, when we look back and reflect back, we go, oh, well, I could have done that better or I could have
Hmm.
done that differently. But then you get a learning from it. You've just said there and then,
Right.
oh, I could have done that differently. You've got that learning already. So it's always, we've got to make a decision and we've got to make sure it feels right internally with us. One of the ways to do that is a really quick way. Sorry, Tom. It's a really quick way. If you're standing straight up, you ask which is yes and which is no. So you say,
Mm.
what is yes? And your body will naturally go one way or the other. And usually it leans forward. What does no mean to me? And you'll often lean back.
Back.
And it can be quite subtle, really, really subtle, but you'll get that feeling. So if you want to make a decision and you're not sure, that's one way of doing it. That's a quick tidbit for you.
Well, I'm laughing because when I was a kid, when I would hear that no from somebody, we stepped back because if you've kept up with your no, you might get hit. So
Yes.
at that time it was called discipline, right?
Yes, exactly. Well, if you can imagine the spirit inside you is giving you the discipline to go, no, don't do that, or yes, do that, or look more into it. Lean forward into it and see how you go. Often when we're asking questions like that, we want a yes, no answer. It's the question we're asking that can be confusing, not the answer.
Well, with the people that you help, then it's actually a teaching learning experience. And I guess every person's
Absolutely.
unique in this, aren't they?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, everybody's unique. Everybody does it differently because we receive intuitive messages. We can see them, we can
Hmm.
hear them, we can feel them. And one thing I want to say too, the difference between feeling and emotion, because emotion is energy in motion, and that's what you express outward.
Mm.
A feeling is what you feel inwards. And
Ah,
often we can feel something, and it might be fear, and we express it as anger.
ah. So your feeling
So
is actually touching your gut, is touching your intuition.
you're feeling, yes, your feeling is from your spirit, is that intuitive message that's coming through. How you're responding is through an emotion, and it could be
Mm.
road rage, or it could be this, or it could be that. And we put those emotions out differently. When somebody meets somebody and they feel that they're in love with them, this is the perfect idea, or this is how I'm going to make money in my business. And we may get this feeling like, oh, that's a good thing. And we express it then as, oh, love, and it's great and it's exciting. But the feeling we might get could be just, oh, that's an idea. Let's step forward on that one and have a look at that.
It's not grabbing you, right?
Yes, yes.
So we need to be
Yeah.
shaken a little bit.
Well, absolutely. Being shaken is a good thing.
Okay. Well, to
As
be
long
shaken,
as we
how
use it.
can our listeners, find you to be shaken?
Find me. Well, you can find me on my website, which is intuitivenature.com.au. So it's an Australian business. That's where you'll find a lot of the details there. But I do workshops and things that will help you develop and trust. And the main area I look at is trust. Because
Hmm.
if we can't trust ourselves to make those decisions, how do we trust anyone else? And that's in business and in life.
Well, in business, let me get to a point. Obviously, when we're talking about intuition, that's sort of personal.
It is.
Do companies have intuition? Do
Absolutely.
teams have
Everybody's.
intuition?
Absolutely. Everybody has intuition. So we are collecting, if you can imagine a work team and they're there bringing ideas in and getting information. And you've got to remember, if you already have seen an idea, that's your analytical brain coming in.
Hmm.
But if you have an idea that you don't know of anyone else having it, that's your imagination coming in.
Hmm.
That's from your intuition.
And then you bring that to the team, and then the team
You
can.
bring that to the team, yes. And you will find that in a team have a goal. They
Right.
have a team goal. And what you can do is actually drill down in with your intuition, drill down and get an understanding of it and bring all those elements together. So that team actually starts to then use their intuition in a more productive way.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Well, Susan, I want to thank you. You've been so helpful, and I've changed my view of intuition today.
Oh, that's cool. And, well, you can still call it your gut instinct. You know,
No,
you can still
the
call
gut
it your
feeling. No, but I think it's softer. I think it's more intelligence to call it intuition.
Yes, because it's in line with who you are, Tom. It's not anyone else's information. It's just you and your connection to your spirit or whatever you would like to call that, the greater consciousness or whatever information you want to bring in. But we know it's real. It's a knowing that we have. That's right.
Good. And we can feel it.
Yes.
So thank you again for being part
Not
today.
emotionally.
Nah, not emotionally. That's good. So thanks again for being part, okay?
Thank you for having me on the show.
It was exciting. For our listeners, it's very simply Susan Jane, S-U-S-A-N. The last name is J-A-N-E. And it's intuitivenature.com.au. All right, you can find their tools to connect, develop, and trust your intuition. Café and Networking is brought to us by Focus MI Market Intelligence, an agricultural market research specialist in Brazil. More information at www.focusmi.com. Thanks for listening until the next time here at Café and Networking Podcast.